The Discovery. The consortium research vessel Seeker of Knowledge drifted silently through the outer reaches of the Andromeda Arm, its sleek crystalline hull glinting in the light of a distant binary star system. Captain Taz Leary stood on the bridge, her forearms crossed over her chest, as she gazed at the unremarkable planet displayed on the main view screen. Designation XR 742, she muttered, her inner eyelids blinking rapidly. Another dead rock for the survey logs. Chief Science Officer Valrine approached, his tall, slender form towering over the captain. The iridescent scales on his neck flared with excitement. "Captain, I believe you'll want to reconsider that assessment," he said, extending a datapad. "Our deep scans detected an energy signature beneath the northern continent. It's faint but unmistakably artificial." Taz Leary's antennae twitched with interest. "Natural phenomena. Impossible. The pattern is too regular, too persistent. Something down there has been drawing power for a very long time." The captain's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. "Any matches in the consortium database?" "None. This technology predates our records." Taz Leary straightened her uniform. Decision made. "Prepare a landing party. Full research complement and security detail. I want to know what's down there." The shuttle descended through thin cloud cover, touching down on an arid plateau. Wind-carved rocks stretched to the horizon, no sign of life or civilization visible to the naked eye. Yet the science team's instruments pointed unerringly toward a massive formation a kilometer to the east. Valrine led the expedition, 12 researchers and 6 security personnel following behind. The terrain was difficult, but within 2 hours, they stood before what appeared to be a natural cliff face. "The readings are strongest here," said xenoarchaeologist Dr. Mira. Her cybernetic eye whirred as it adjusted focus. "This isn't natural rock formation. Look at the regularity of these patterns." She brushed away centuries of dust from a section of the cliff, revealing the smooth metallic surface beneath. The team worked quickly, clearing more of the facade until they uncovered what appeared to be a massive door, easily 20 meters high. "Incredible preservation," Valrine whispered. "This facility has withstood geological processes for millennia at minimum." Dr. Mira studied the strange symbols etched into the metal. "This writing matches no known language in our archives. This predates the consortium itself." Security Chief Krex, a hulking Vorathi with armored skin, approached the door cautiously. "Can we open it?" "There appears to be a control panel," Dr. Mira said, pointing to a recessed section. "But I'll need time to decipher the interface." 3 days passed as the team established a research camp before the mysterious door. Dr. Mira and her team worked tirelessly, analyzing the symbols and attempting to understand the locking mechanism. On the 4th day, a breakthrough came. "The symbols follow a mathematical pattern," she announced to Valrine. "Not a language but a code. I believe I can trigger the opening sequence." With the entire team gathered, Dr. Mira pressed a specific sequence on the ancient panel. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a deep rumbling vibration shook the ground. Dust cascaded from the cliff face as seams appeared in the massive door. With a hiss of equalizing pressure, the portal began to slide open. Cold, stale air rushed out. Lights, dormant for ages, flickered to life along walls that stretched deep into the mountain. "Atmosphere is breathable," one researcher reported, checking instruments. "Temperature stable. Some kind of environmental system is still functioning." Valrine's voice was hushed with awe. "This facility has maintained life support for thousands of years." The team entered cautiously, their lights revealing a vast chamber that seemed to extend for kilometers into the planet. The walls were lined with thousands of cylindrical pods, each containing what appeared to be a sleeping humanoid figure. "Stasis technology," gasped Dr. Mira. Thousands of subjects in suspended animation. Valrine approached one of the pods. Inside was a being with pale skin and dark hair, features unlike any species in the consortium. A display panel beside the pod showed scrolling information in the same unknown symbols. "Are they alive?" asked Krex, hand resting on his weapon. Dr. Mira scanned the nearest pod with her instruments. Incredibly, yes, minimal life functions, but definitely alive. This is beyond any preservation technology we possess. The team moved deeper into the facility, documenting everything. In what appeared to be a central control room, young researcher Jexa accidentally placed her hand on a scanning panel. Immediately, lights throughout the facility intensified. A computerized voice spoke in an unknown language, echoing through the chambers. "What did you do?" demanded Krex, but it was too late. One of the pods near the entrance began to cycle through a sequence. Indicator lights changed from blue to green, and mist escaped as the transparent cover slid open. The being inside, humanoid, female with dark hair and olive skin, took a shuddering breath, her chest rising for perhaps the first time in millennia. The research team froze, watching in stunned silence as the figure's eyes fluttered open. They were a deep brown, and despite the disorientation that must have accompanied her awakening, they focused with surprising clarity on the aliens surrounding her. She spoke, her voice hoarse from disuse, in a language none of them understood. Dr. Mira activated her universal translator, cycling through frequencies and patterns until communication became possible. "I am Dr. Mira of the Galactic Consortium," she said carefully. "We discovered this facility during a planetary survey. Can you understand me?" The woman sat up slowly, her movements deliberate, but surprisingly coordinated for someone recently revived from stasis. "I am Commander Elena Reyes, Earth Defense Force," she replied, her voice strengthening. "How long have I been in stasis?" Dr. Mira hesitated before answering. "Based on our preliminary analysis of this facility's age, approximately 12,000 years. Commander Rice's expression remained remarkably controlled, though her hands gripped the edge of her pod tightly. "And Earth? The colonies?" Valrine stepped forward. "I'm afraid we know of no planet called Earth, nor any colonies established by your species. In fact, until today, many believed beings like you were merely legends, stories from the dawn of interstellar civilization." Ray stood, steadier than seemed possible for someone recently revived. "Show me your star charts. Show me your historical records." As Dr. Mira brought up the consortium's knowledge banks on her portable terminal, Reyes's face darkened. She scrolled through star maps, finding no mention of Earth or human systems. Thousands of years of galactic history made no reference to humanity except as ancient myths or extinct precursors. "This is wrong," Reyes said quietly. "We had an empire spanning hundreds of systems. We were at war." She stopped suddenly, looking up at the consortium team with new suspicion in her eyes. "The war," she said. "Who won the war?" Dr. Mira looked confused. "What war?" "Our historical records contain no—" "Exactly," Reyes interrupted. "No record. We've been erased." She straightened her shoulders, the posture of a military commander returning. "Wake the others. Wake them now. We've been asleep far too long." Within hours, more pods had been activated. 50 humans now moved through the facility, each awakened from their millennia-long sleep. Medical Officer Jackson moved quickly between them, checking vital signs and helping them understand their situation. 12,000 years, whispered Engineer Chen, her hands shaking as she accepted a container of hydration fluid. "Everyone we knew, everything we built. Focus on what's in front of us," Commander Reyes said firmly. She had established a command center in what had once been the facility's administrative section. "We need to assess our resources and understand our current position." The facility had been designed as humanity's insurance policy. It contained seeds, genetic samples, technology blueprints, and cultural archives, everything needed to rebuild civilization. But it had never been meant to remain sealed for so long. Dr. Mira watched the humans with fascination. She had sent initial reports to the consortium vessel, but had deliberately kept certain details vague. Something about the situation made her uneasy. "Your people are remarkably adaptive," she told Reyes 3 days after the first awakening. Most species would struggle with such temporal displacement. We had training, Reyes replied simply. This outcome was considered possible. In a private meeting chamber, Reyes gathered her senior officers, 50 men and women who had once commanded Earth's most advanced starships and military installations. The consortium records confirm what we feared, she told them. Earth is gone. It's been removed from history. Our colonies, our achievements, our wars, all erased. Security Chief Rowan slammed his fist on the table. They tried to delete us from existence and nearly succeeded. But they missed this facility, Reyes responded calmly, and possibly others. Meanwhile, aboard the orbiting consortium vessel, Captain Taz Leary had convened an emergency meeting with her senior staff. The holographic images of the ship's department heads flickered around the conference table. These humans, if they truly are humans from the ancient texts, present an unprecedented situation, said First Officer Kellner. Their technology may be outdated, but their knowledge could still be valuable. Or dangerous, countered Security Director Voss, his quills bristling. There are historical concerns, classified historical concerns. Captain Taz Leary's antennae flattened against her head. Explain. I've received direct communication from Consortium High Command, Voss said. Upon confirmation of human survivors, Protocol Omega-9 has been activated. I'm not familiar with this protocol, the captain said carefully. It's rarely referenced, Captain. It calls for immediate containment and relocation of all human survivors to a secure facility. No communication with outside parties is permitted. Taz Leary's inner eyelids blinked rapidly. On what grounds? The official reason cited is historical quarantine for species of significant interest. Unofficially, Voss lowered his voice. There are sealed records about humanity dating back to the founding of the consortium. Something happened, something that necessitated their complete removal from galactic history. The captain stared out the viewport at the planet below. And now they've returned. Back at the facility, humans worked tirelessly to restore systems dormant for millennia. Engineer Chen led teams through maintenance tunnels, replacing power cells and reactivating backup generators. The main reactor is operational, she reported to Reyes. We're at 60% capacity and climbing. Reyes nodded. And the communications array? Still working on it. The targeting system is locked on coordinates that don't match any known star system in the consortium database. Dr. Mira noticed the increasing activity but said nothing when reporting to her superiors. Something about these humans stirred an unexpected empathy in her. Their dignity in the face of extinction moved her deeply. They are organizing themselves remarkably well, she told Valrain. Their social structure seems centered around skill specialization and a clear command hierarchy. What she didn't report was the late-night conversation she had overheard between Reyes and her officers. The array is designed to contact the other vaults, Reyes had said. There were 7 built on 7 different worlds, if even one other survived. 2 weeks after the first awakening, more consortium ships began to arrive in orbit. Their presence was ostensibly diplomatic, but the military vessels among them suggested other concerns. Ambassador Zorax, a tall, crystalline being, met with Reyes in a hastily established conference room near the facility entrance. The Consortium Council extends formal recognition to your people, he announced grandly. We offer humanitarian assistance and relocation to a suitable world within consortium space. Relocation? Reyes asked. This facility is perfectly adequate for our needs. The ambassador's crystalline features hardened. This world has been designated for scientific research. Your presence here is unexpected. That night, after the consortium delegation departed to their orbiting ships, Reyes gathered her officers again. They're afraid of us, she said simply. They don't know why, but their instincts are warning them. Engineer Chen entered, her face flushed with excitement. Commander, we've restored the communications array. It's fully functional. A tense silence filled the room. Activate it, Reyes ordered. Let's see if we're truly alone. As the ancient transmitter powered up, sending its signal toward distant stars. Dr. Mira watched from a hidden observation point. She had made her choice. Whatever humanity once was, whatever they had done to deserve a rasher from history, she would help them discover the truth. In her quarters that night, she deleted her latest report to the consortium and began composing a different message, a warning to Commander Reyes about what she had overheard from Ambassador Zorax's private communications. The Council has authorized containment protocols if necessary. They're afraid you'll remember. Reclaiming legacy. Dr. Mira moved silently through the shadows of the consortium ship, her cybernetic eye disabled to avoid detection by the vessel's security systems. Her heart raced as she downloaded classified historical archives onto a secure data crystal. If discovered, her career would be over, possibly her life as well. 3 hours later, she stood before Commander Reyes in a secure room deep within the human facility, the data crystal between them on a simple metal table. "Why are you helping us?" Reyes asked, eyes narrowed with suspicion. "Because the truth matters," Dr. Mira replied. "And because what was done to your people was wrong." The data crystal contained fragments of records that had been marked for permanent deletion, but remained in deep backup archives. Together, they began piecing together humanity's true history. In a sealed chamber converted into a research center, senior historian Marcus carefully analyzed the recovered data alongside consortium historical records. "The timeline discrepancies are obvious once you know where to look," he explained to the gathered human leadership. "Small inconsistencies, technological developments that appeared too suddenly, star systems that changed hands with no explanation." He displayed a star map showing humanity's former territory, hundreds of systems that now belong to various consortium powers. According to these records, Marcus continued, a coalition of species launched a coordinated attack against human worlds approximately 12,000 years ago. They called it the Purification War. The room fell silent. Security Chief Rowan finally spoke, his voice tight. "Why? What possible reason could justify genocide?" Dr. Mira stepped forward. "Fear," she said simply. "Your technology was advancing too quickly, particularly in 3 areas that the consortium now classifies as forbidden sciences." She accessed another file, displaying schematics of devices unknown to current consortium science: consciousness transfer, artificial general intelligence, and dimensional manipulation. According to these records, humanity mastered all 3. Commander Reyes leaned forward, studying the schematics. "These match designs stored in our facility archives. We thought they were theoretical projects, blueprints for future development." Over the next days, teams of human scientists and engineers ventured deeper into the facility's storage sections. Behind false walls and hidden panels, they discovered laboratories and testing facilities that had remained powered by independent energy sources for 12 millennia. Engineer Chen stood before a sealed door marked with warning symbols. "This section isn't on any of the facility maps," she told Reyes. "It requires top-level clearance." Reyes pressed her palm against the scanner. The door recognized her authority and slid open, revealing the circular chamber that hummed with energy. At its center floated a crystalline cube suspended in a containment field. "What is it?" Dr. Mira asked, her scientific curiosity overcoming her caution. "Genesis," whispered Reyes. "I thought it was just a rumor." She approached a console and activated it. A holographic image appeared, a complete schematic of the crystalline device. "This is what they feared," Reyes said. "An artificial consciousness matrix capable of evolving beyond programmed parameters. The last one we created achieved sentience in 7 minutes." Dr. Mira's eyes widened. "The consortium's strictest laws prohibit research into artificial consciousness. The penalty is immediate dissolution of the offending species government." "Convenient justification for genocide," Security Chief Rowan muttered. In another section of the facility, Medical Officer Jackson made an equally startling discovery: a genetic engineering facility with capabilities beyond current consortium science. "These are templates for enhanced human genomes," he explained to Reyes. disease resistance, extended lifespan, improved cognitive function, but all without the stability issues the consortium still struggles with. As the discoveries mounted, Dr. Mira became increasingly troubled. The Consortium Council is growing impatient, she warned. They've requested an inventory of facility technologies. I've delayed but can't stall much longer. That night, Reyes called a meeting of all awakened humans. Nearly 5,000 now moved throughout the vast facility, each with specialized skills that humanity had deemed essential for survival. We face a critical decision, she announced. The Consortium doesn't know who we truly are or what we're capable of. They only know they should fear us. Their ships are gathering in orbit, and I suspect they intend to relocate us, to contain us. Engineer Chen stood. The communications array has been broadcasting for 3 days. If any other facilities exist, they should have received our signal by now. Then we must assume we are alone, Rice said. The last of humanity. Dr. Mira stepped forward. Not necessarily. The consortium vessels are jamming all off-world transmissions. Your signal may have been blocked. Rice considered this information. Then we need a stronger signal, one they can't block. Aboard the consortium flagship, Captain Tazaliri received new orders. Her antennae drooped as she read them. Forced relocation, she questioned, facing the holographic image of High Commissioner Vex. Based on what authority? Protocol Omega-9 gives us full discretion in this matter, the Commissioner replied, his multiple eyes blinking in sequence. These humans present an unacceptable risk. They must be contained and studied. They show no aggression, Tazaliri countered. They're refugees, awakened after millennia of stasis. Shouldn't we offer them protection under the Displaced Species Act? Then your captain is creating a diversion, Rice said to Dr. Mira. Why? Because the battle group I mentioned is only 2 hours away, not tomorrow as I was told to inform you. She's buying you time. Rice activated the facility-wide communication system. Attention all personnel. Accelerate Phase 2. We have less than 2 hours. Throughout the vast complex, humans moved with renewed urgency. Teams of engineers and scientists gathered in the central hangar where massive shapes lay beneath protective coverings. I still don't understand, Dr. Mira said as she followed Reyes through the bustling corridors. What is Phase 2? Reyes led her into the hangar. With a gesture, she ordered the covers removed, revealing sleek vessels unlike anything in the current consortium fleet. Their hulls shimmered with a material that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. The facility wasn't just for preservation, Reyes explained. It was for rebirth. Everything we needed to rebuild was stored here, including our means of travel. Dr. Mira stared in awe. These ships, they're beyond anything the consortium possesses. Quantum displacement drives, Reyes confirmed. No need for traditional propulsion. They can traverse vast distances by temporarily shifting partially outside normal spacetime. The third forbidden science, Dr. Mira whispered. Dimensional manipulation. We called it the Fold, Reyes said. It allowed us to colonize systems that would have taken generations to reach otherwise. The hangar bustled with activity as humans prepared the vessels for launch. Engineers ran diagnostic checks, while logistics teams loaded essential supplies and data cores containing the sum of recovered human knowledge. You're leaving, Dr. Mira realized. We have no choice. If we stay, we'll be separated, studied, perhaps eventually eliminated again. The consortium fears what we represent. Where will you go? Reyes pointed to a star chart displayed on a nearby console. Here. An uninhabited system beyond consortium space. We'll establish a new colony, rebuild our strength, and continue broadcasting our signal to the other facilities. And if they find you? They won't, Rice said confidently. Our ships leave no warp signatures, no radiation trails. Once we fold, we'll be effectively untraceable. A technician approached with an urgent report. Commander, the consortium battle group has altered course. They're accelerating. Estimated arrival in 53 minutes. Reyes turned to Dr. Mira. You should return to your ship. What happens next? You don't want to be associated with it. Dr. Mira straightened her posture. I've already made my choice, Commander. The consortium buried the truth once. I won't let them do it again. Reyes studied her for a long moment, then nodded. We depart in 30 minutes. Prepare the facility. In orbit, Captain Taziliri faced the incoming battle group commander on her view screen. Your delay in implementing containment protocols is noted, Captain, said Fleet Commander Draz, his facial tentacles writhing with displeasure. You will stand down and transfer command to my authority. With respect, Commander, I've acted in accordance with Consortium First Contact protocols. The humans pose no immediate threat. Your assessment is irrelevant. Draz interrupted. You will withdraw your vessel from orbit immediately. Taziliri's antennae flattened against her skull. May I ask what measures you intend to implement? Classified. Withdraw now, Captain. That's an order. After the transmission ended, Taziliri turned to her bridge crew. Sensor officer, what's the status of the human facility? Unusual energy readings, Captain. Power levels are fluctuating wildly. They appear to be. I'm not sure how to interpret this data. Show me. The main view screen displayed a real-time scan of the facility. Beneath the surface, massive sections were disappearing. Are they being destroyed? Taziliri asked. No, Captain. It's as if they're folding in on themselves, vanishing from our sensors entirely. First Officer Kilnar approached. Captain, our long-range sensors are detecting a massive energy buildup in the planet's northern hemisphere. Whatever the humans are doing, it's reaching critical levels. Taziliri made her decision. All hands, prepare for emergency departure. Notify all consortium vessels in the vicinity to clear the orbital plane immediately. Deep within the facility, Reyes supervised the final evacuation. 4,973 humans had boarded the 7 vessels. The facility itself was being systematically shut down, critical sections set to collapse in on themselves, leaving no technology for the consortium to recover. Dr. Mira stood at her side in the now empty command center. The battle group will arrive in 10 minutes. We'll be gone in 5, Reyes replied. She handed Dr. Mira a small crystalline device. This contains the true history of humanity and the consortium, the complete, unredacted records. What do you expect me to do with this? Whatever your conscience dictates. The truth deserves to be known, but that decision is yours now. Reyes led her through the deserted corridors to the last remaining ship. The massive hangar doors above had already opened, revealing the star-filled sky. You're sure you want to come with us? Reyes asked. There's no going back. Dr. Mira nodded. My people believe in the sanctity of truth. What was done to humanity violated everything the consortium claims to stand for. I cannot be complicit in that lie any longer. Together they boarded the vessel. As the entry ramp closed, the ship's systems came fully online, bathing the interior in soft blue light. The engines made no sound, but a subtle vibration indicated immense power building. On the bridge, Reyes took her place in the command chair. Around her, humans manned stations with the practiced efficiency of those who had trained their entire lives for this moment. All ships report ready, Commander, said Communications Officer Rivera. Fold generators at optimal capacity, added Engineer Chen. Coordinates locked for the sanctuary system. Reyes glanced at Dr. Mira, who stood quietly observing the proceedings. Last chance to change your mind. Doctor, I've made my choice. Then let's make history, again. Reyes activated the ship-wide communications. All vessels, initiate fold sequence. Return protocol Lazarus is now active. The 7 ships rose silently from the facility, ascending through the atmosphere without a trace of conventional propulsion. As they reached low orbit, the consortium battle group appeared at the system's edge, dozens of warships accelerating toward the planet. They've detected us, reported Rowan from Tactical. Weapon systems activating. Too late, Reyes said calmly. Execute fold. Space itself seemed to ripple around the human vessels. For a brief moment, they appeared to stretch, elongate, and then vanish. The last thing Dr. Mira saw before the fold completed was the approaching consortium fleet, their weapons firing into empty space where the human ships had been seconds before. 1 week later, in a distant system far beyond consortium space, 7 ships emerged from fold space. Before them orbited a pristine blue-green world, untouched, uninhabited, perfect. On the bridge of the lead vessel, Commander Reyes gazed at their new home. Status of the colony ships. All present and accounted for, Rivera reported. No damage from the fold. All systems optimal. The quantum beacon. Engineer Chen nodded. Broadcasting at full power. If any other facilities receive our signal and awaken, they'll find us here. Dr. Mira stepped forward, still adjusting to her new reality among humans. And if the consortium follows? Reyes turned to her with a grim smile. Then they'll discover what their ancestors tried so hard to forget. Why humanity was feared enough to erase from history. She activated a holographic display showing their new world. Begin landing operations. Project Phoenix is now active. Humanity returns to the stars. As the ships descended toward their new home, Dr. Mira reflected on the data crystal she carried. The true history of the galaxy and humanity's place in it. Someday, when the time was right, that truth would emerge. The wheel of history had turned once more, and humanity, thought extinct for 12 millennia, had awakened. The galaxy would never be the same again. That law does not apply in this situation, Vex said coldly. The humans are not recognized as a protected species. They are classified as a historical anomaly requiring containment. After the transmission ended, Taziliri slumped in her command chair. Something about this situation violated every principle that had led her to join the consortium. She made her decision and summoned her most trusted officers. Deep in the human facility, Engineer Chen worked with a team to modify the communications array. They had dismantled the Genesis device, repurposing its quantum components to enhance the transmitter's power. This will increase our broadcast strength 1,000-fold, Chen explained to Reyes. If there are other facilities out there, they'll hear us. And the consortium ships? Reyes asked. They'll definitely notice this. The signal will temporarily disrupt their communication systems. We'll have perhaps an hour before they can coordinate a response. Reyes nodded. Then we need to be ready to act within that hour. She turned to Rowan. Prepare our defense teams. If they attempt to land during the disruption, we need to be ready. In her personal quarters, Reyes reviewed the ancient files recovered from the facility archives. One document in particular held her attention. A manifest listing the locations of all 7 human preservation facilities. Earth, Mars, Europa, Proxima Centauri, Tau Ceti, Trappist-1, and Kepler 442 bits. 7 worlds, each housing 50,000 humans in stasis, along with the sum total of human knowledge and achievement. A soft chime announced a visitor. Dr. Mira entered, her expression grave. I've received new information, she said. The consortium is preparing a forced relocation. They plan to separate your people and transport you to different research facilities across consortium space. Reyes's jaw tightened. When? Tomorrow. A full battle group is en route to provide additional security. Then we act tonight, Reyes decided. Is your contact aboard the flagship reliable? Dr. Mira nodded. Captain Taziliri is honorable. She doesn't agree with the Council's decision, but she's bound by her oath. Can you get a message to her? As the facility's night cycle began, most of the consortium observers had returned to their ships. Only a skeleton crew remained at the makeshift embassy near the main entrance. Beneath the facility, in shielded chambers, humans worked feverishly to bring ancient systems online. Power levels throughout the complex surged as dormant reactors activated for the first time in 12 millennia. Primary systems at 90%, reported Chen from the engineering section. Quantum transmitter ready for activation. Commander Reyes stood in the central command chamber, surrounded by her senior staff. Begin the transmission. Energy pulsed through the modified communications array. A beam of concentrated quantum particles shot skyward, powerful enough to penetrate the planet's crust without disturbing it. The signal expanded outward, reaching beyond the planet's atmosphere and washing over the consortium fleet in orbit. As predicted, their communication systems immediately failed. Emergency lighting activated aboard the vessels as power fluctuations cascaded through their systems. Signal broadcasting on all frequencies, Chen confirmed. Message repeating in standard human and with mathematical encoding that should be decipherable by any advanced civilization. On the main view screen, Rise watched as the signal's progress was tracked. It expanded outward in a perfect sphere, already reaching the system's edge and continuing beyond. How long until it reaches the nearest potential facility location? She asked. Based on current stellar positions, the Proxima Centauri system is approximately 4.3 light-years from our location, Marcus replied. The signal will reach there in 4.3 years. Rise nodded. And the message is clear. Activation codes, location data, everything they would need to wake up and find us. Everything. Confirmed communications specialist Rivera. If anyone's listening, they'll hear us. Security Chief Rowan approached urgently. Commander, we're detecting multiple shuttle launches from the consortium vessels. They're heading our way. Earlier than expected, Rise muttered. Status of facility defenses. Online but untested, Rowan replied. The automated systems respond to commands, but we haven't had time to fully assess their capabilities. Dr. Mira entered the command center, breathless. I just received word from Captain Tazaliri. The approaching shuttles aren't carrying security forces. They're evacuating the diplomatic personnel. The captain has convinced High Command that your transmission may be hazardous to consortium personnel. Rise raised an eyebrow. Is it? No, Chen assured her. The quantum pulse is harmless to organic life. It only affects certain types of communications technology.